Hi, I'm Jocelyn. Welcome to Fast Easy Vegan. Today we're working out of the book Fast Easy Vegan. What a coincidence. Page 535. We're going to be making together, you and I, vegetable hash. Really good. Let's get going. The odd ingredient in this is walnuts, which really are not odd at all. When you taste it, you'll see. And the very best source of omega-3s in the kingdom of Earth. All right. So, how do I sort this out? As you can see, I've prepped everything, so it just looks like a hot mess with a little fly that just dropped in to check me out. Okay, we're turning on the stove. As always, the longest cooking things go in first. Let's layer that. So we want to do our diced, 1 onion diced. All right. And we want to get that like translucent and kind of softened before we put the carrots and potatoes in. And it's already starting to sizzle. I like that. Okay, the pan is hot. These onions are ready to receive other participants here. So next we want to put in the carrots. Although, you know, we're not trying to cook everything before we put in another ingredient. We just want the longest cooking ingredients in there first to give them kind of a head start. But if you feel like you just want to throw everything in the pot and then put the lid on it and let it simmer, that works. Okay, now we're putting in the rest. I'm taking my own advice. But I do like to get onions cooked first. It's just such an old habit. And it's really not necessary when you get right down to it. The only time I don't do it is when I'm making soup. That vaguely sort of caramelized, whoa, hang on. Smoke alarm is off and I totally forget what I was talking about. So it couldn't have been terribly important, could it? So what we put in was the 1 onion diced, 2 carrots cut into medallions, 2 potatoes diced. Everything is diced here. A bell pepper diced. Red is nice, green is fine, orange and yellow are fine, whatever color you like. So 1 bell pepper diced, a 1/2 pound of mushrooms. You can slice them or quarter them or do however you like. Then we want to put in a cup of frozen peas. And then we want to put in also like a handful, is that a cup? No, that's about a 1/2 cup. This is the green beans I had. Recipe calls for a handful of green beans. So now we have something nice and colorful that's working up. Color just looks so happy there. It's cooking away. And then the recipe also calls for a 1/2 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And that's totally optional because I do get that a lot of people don't like heat. And these are little cayenne peppers I pulled off my pepper plant in the garden. So I'm going to use those instead of the pepper flakes. And we'll see how much heat I get out of them. I'll let you know. Then I want to take the 1/2 cup of veggie broth and blend that with the 2 tablespoons of miso. And sort of get that, turn that into some kind of a roux, or even though a roux is butter and flour, this is more just the miso thickens thickens the broth. Doesn't sicken it, it thickens it. Okay. Because you really don't want to be biting into a big old chunk of miso. That'd be pretty nasty, because miso is, as I'm sure you know, very, very salty. Okay. But it's also a necessary, we need some moisture here, and it's so much more interesting than plain water. Okay. And we've also got the odd ingredient, toasted walnuts, which is really not so odd at all when you taste this hash. It's so good and interesting. You'll see. So now I'm going to cover this for about 15 minutes. And when it's done, we'll come back, stir in the walnuts, and take a bite. See how we like it. See you then. We are ready. Our stew. It's done. Sorry, hash. Stew is juicier. Hash is just kind of cubed stuff. And one of these days, I want to make a hash where everything's the same size. You know, not to be nuts about it, just for fun. It would be cool. Maybe we'll do it together. All right, there's our hash. Now we're going to take our walnuts, toss them in. The reason we did not cook them with everything else is because we don't want them to get soggy. We like that they're crispy and toasted. Now you can either toast them in the pan before you put in the oven, the onions and everything else, and then remove them, or you can do it in the toaster oven if you have one. I have a toaster oven. I use it all the time. Okay, look at this. Look at all these pretty colors. Whoop, pepper. Don't want to put that in my mouth, not yet. Okay. Taste of truth. Oh, I'm slipping. There. Let's see. I want to know if those cayenne pods will get back here. Oh. You know what's great about this? Because it's not sort of everything hasn't been leached out into a soup broth or something like that. You can really taste the individual flavors of the vegetables. It's really good. If you have whole cayenne peppers, don't bother. There's not one bit of heat. So I'm going to be adding those pepper flakes. Other than that, it's a winner. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Bon appetit.
That was easy.
Always. See you soon.